to chase that a little bit too much in my opinion. But I guess like we're just trying to get the ultimate, and the ultimate, oh my god. This Muriel Sochi could get away, but no one can escape the GTFO from Grim.Exe. Here we have a game played by Neft on the carry role. And here, for those that are more interesting about like the build, we have just a kind of a recap of what Neft has gone during that match. And in terms of abilities, of course, we start with Displacement Blast, main source of wave clear, main source of damage. Then we have gone for the Assault mode, which allow you to get also like the displacement on the Displacement Blast, but also like a little bit of slow, which like kind of more aggressive playstyle. And then we get the Deflector Shield third. In terms of abilities priority, of course, we level max the ultimate when it's available and the Displacement Blast. Interesting to see that the second priority for Neft is the Assault mode, kind of valuing a lot like the added slow even at the cost of more mana, and Deflector Shield is kept for the last. In terms of itemization, we have gone for the crest on the Liberator, probably to counter the rewind because he's facing a resin lane, and also like probably like to get some more shield to survive the burst of a carry while also cleansing the death mark. And then in terms of like main item, we have the Lightning Oak into Tented Round into Dust Devil. So kind of this mixture of crit into on it like build that offer you like a lot of spacing thanks to the slow from Lightning Oak, slow on the Assault mode, but also the move speed you gain from Dust Devil, which probably means that if you get it once by Grim, it will just run you down. Let's just jump into the game. Today we have a game of Neft playing Grim, the latest character released. On the carry role, Neft, one of the top carry in the game, currently playing on EU server, and here on the lane is going to be with a Rictor, facing probably what seems to be a Muriel plus a Res. Muriel plus Res can deal like a lot of damage, but of course if the Rictor lands his hook, it's going to be very aggressive. And here we can see Brandon going already like immediately super duper deep. Neft wasn't like fully ready to follow that up, so they're gonna try to get like some good damage, and that's gonna be like a flash being used by Julie Latina. Neft not missing any auto attack, get the kill, flash away, gonna take advantage of the rotation of his mid laner to disengage. Try to go like for like kind of like a greedy recall here, but we can see that the Muriel is around. He has to be careful. It's gonna be a little bit stuck, and that's gonna make like the beginning of that match a little bit scuffed. To be fair, Brandon Knight going very aggressive at the beginning of the game. Here, like the mistake is more, in my opinion, on Neft to not follow that up, but most of the time like people in solo queue, they don't really like be present early on. And as you can see here, Neft cannot really like afford to go back to base because otherwise he would have lost a lot of farm and a lot of experience. And so now he's like actually like in a kind of a tough spot because he's kind of super low, already like used one potion. And so I guess that now we're gonna have like to play kind of passive and just like play off the hook of Brandon Knight. In terms of crest, ooh, a nice hook onto the Muriel, and here you can see like he poke well, but he doesn't like overstep, because if he overstep, then Julie Latina could have probably like go full on aggression onto him, and then like he doesn't have flash, which means that the turnaround could have been like very strong. So Neft understanding that he can like follow the poke on the hook, but he cannot like fully go in. And here, as you can see, Muriel got the level 2, Julie also has level 2, so here they have to try to find their level 2, dodging the poke, which is like the most important thing in that situation. And you can see like they don't really overstep, they know that the wave is gonna come back to them, and that's like very dangerous to fight in this situation of the level 1 against level 2. And so in that situation, like you can just like wait for minion to come to your tower. Here you can see like to not miss the last hit, we get like auto attack wasn't perfect, so we get auto attack plus the ability, which is a nice thing to do. Like sometimes just the auto attack is not enough to get the last hit, so be free to use your ability also to secure farm. Like those early last hit, like trying to get like as many as you can, are actually like very important on the carry roll to try to get like your first item power spike as fast as you can, and then like you can just like keep going further and further. Here you can see at level 2, like Neft decided to max, we get a gank from Clearcast, we get a hook, and here as a carry it's just a matter of following that aggression. We also get like a Bellica rotation, which was like a very heavy rotation towards that dual lane, which kind of put Neft like quite in a commanding position. So in terms of sync here, as a carry, really your job is try to get as many CS as you can, but also like every time there is something happening in your lane, be ready to follow up. In terms of leveling order, we can see that we were going for first the Displacement Blast, which is your main clear, main damage ability. And then Neft actually like decided to opt for the slow, like the switch between the assault mode and sentry mode that also like offer you like the Displacement Blast that now have like the mode of assault mode that allow you to just displace people. And then you go for the Deflector Shield as a third at level 3. And then I assume we're gonna max mainly the Displacement Blast. So here they crash the wave, so the wave is gonna come back to them. So here, as you can see, like they don't really need to fully like hard push that back into the other side. Here like Neft is just like streaming the wave because the wave is pretty big. But what he wants the wave to come back to them. Why he wants that? Because as you can see, import is around, but because the wave is close to their tower, now there is like no risk. And so here what Neft is doing is first is stopping the wave from crashing on the tower, and then he's also like taking advantage of the situation. But here we get like the rotation from the Bellica, but import was like very well hidden and Neft didn't see it, so very nice play by import overall to try to go around, and that completely bamboozled Neft. But coming back to what we're saying about like the wave is like Neft grabbed the wave to put it like stop it from going under tower, which allowed the wave to like stop right in front of the tower, which make the wave like very safe to farm and also like force the enemy team to expose themselves. Overall we get like a stronger rotation, so it all worked out for the Dawn team. But import playing very well here, taking advantage of the fact that the wave was a very far push, so he go around towards the gold buff and surprise Neft into that fight because they thought this was a 3v2 when it became a 3v3. So here we do have the wave that is going to push back into the other direction simply because we have more range minion than the enemy. So that means that the wave is pushing back, so we should be looking at probably an aggression timing and also like trying to crush the wave. But I guess here we would like to get the timing with the gold buff when the gold buff respawn, and that's why like Neft don't hard shove the lane because he wants to be like kind of a better timing. We do have the Muriel that is here. We got the rotation from the Gideon. Gideon is level 6, so that's why like Neft like play from very far away. Here like GrandMaster going like very aggressive is gonna die. Here there is not much that Neft can do, like he doesn't have flash, which means that if the Gideon just like hold him, it's gonna be like a dead a Grim, or if his flash is back up from like the early flash he used in the early game, which I think it actually is, well, it will be like a flash kind of wasted in a sense, just to in the end still like be in the top spot. So here he take advantage of the fact that the wave is kind of close to his tower, so even with Brandon being dead, you can see he can like still be here. And because the enemy team is trying like to hard shove the lane, here like you see that Neft is auto attacking the wave because Brandon is coming back, and so when Brandon arrived they don't want to fight into a super big wave, and so he kind of prepare the fact that the enemy team is coming. Here a lot of people would have just simply like last it and let like the wave like advance, but if you do that, suddenly you have like 6 minions still up when Brandon come, and that means that this fight is gonna be tough. And also the advantage of like pushing those minion wave at that moment means that after you win the fight with Brandon, it's faster to actually like push the wave, which means you guarantee like here the crash, like the wave crashing on their tower, which make it like much easier because now you have like a perfect recall timing, and you can see on that recall timing no tempo is lost by Neft, and we already have the Lightning Oak finish pre 8 minutes in the game. So of course here there is like many rotation happening into the duo lane, but at every single rotation Neft was present to fight, and that's a big reason of it is because of his good wave management. Trimming minion when he should, not over pushing when he shouldn't. Like here, he cannot really like stop this wave from going under tower, so that's why like he tried to clear as many minions as he can before the minion wave arrive on the tower. Here we're still like looking at poking with the Displacement Blast. He's in a 1v2, so of course don't want the wave to push, but since like they're hard pushing the wave, once again, if they're hard pushing the wave, like you don't want to send the wave back, but you don't want the wave to be too big when your on support is gonna come. And as you can see here, that's why like Neft is streaming the wave. But now the support is here, the enemy team has hard pushed the wave, and so now we can get the freeze, which means like trying to keep our lane as close to our tower as possible. And you can see that's exactly what they do. Now we're back in last hit mode. And so that's something that you should like try to learn as a carry, is when you should like push, when you should freeze, when you should last hit, and try to kind of get flawlessly. Here you can see in the previous situation, Neft was in 1v2, but the wave was pushed up, so he could still farm. Now it's surely Latina that is in a 1v2, but because the wave is against her, she cannot farm anything. And as you can see, like here, Neft is denying as many like farm as he can, while him is super safe to farm, while the enemy carry cannot farm at all. Then like, wave is starting to be like even, so wave is gonna push back into the other direction. But we're still like last hitting here because we still want to deny farm, but we also want to stack the two waves together. So then we can R-push the wave, and that will be on the timing of the respawn of the gold buff. And that way you can get like actual like a pretty good like situation. Here you can see we still have stream minion up. Next wave is arriving, it's cannon wave, and like here immediately Neft is trying like to hard shove that lane because he has a wave stack, which means it's gonna be like very tough for the enemy team to contest, which means the crash is gonna be like easier to attempt. Brandon not going for the hook here is a little bit risky, and because of that priority, gold buff was open, but since we have clear cast that is already on the Fangtooth, we're gonna go on the Fangtooth, help the team first before like helping yourself. And now we get the secure, but because everyone is around, like the gold buff is still not lost because now we have like numbers advantage. And here, because we have people around and we're stronger, we're in freeze mode. Because we're really like, here there is no reason to fully crash that because we're still like denying minions. Here, minion wave is gonna like start to slightly push in favor of like the downside, simply because we have the thing. But once again, because like we kind of push slowly, we still kept like a few minion, and that means that now we get like the push, it's easier. But we have import around, so that's something that they need to be careful. Brandon is looking at trying to crash that wave, but import is around, so Neft just like see that, and I'm just gonna go for the disengage. No greed here. We're in a 2v3. Brandon kind of greed here. I'm not so sure why he's jumped back in. But here, like you can see, he find like the little opportunity. I'm not sure. Okay, it's gonna be enough to secure the gold buff. And here, because like the enemy team is gonna push back the wave and it's a cannon wave, like Neft feel like he has maybe time, but he was gonna get like cancel. So here he's gonna get like a lot of damage. This Muriel taking quite a lot of damage. And here Neft is just simply like gonna probably like get all the farm that is under the tower. Cannon is tanking everything, not missing a single last hit. Since the enemy, both the dual lane is like backing here, like no Neft can like hard shove that wave and get like a crash. So here, like most people would have like reset, but because the wave like kind of stopped here, that means it was a slow push into the enemy direction. Here, like because the enemy team has gone back to base, both of them, Neft now has a free like clear the wave because it wasn't a cannon wave because the previous wave was. And so now you got like a free crash, which means that free crash will probably mean that now we're gonna be in a situation that is either neutral or a slow push. And that means also that now Neft have like a very good back to base. After the lightning hook, we can see that he's working towards the tainted round with the rune bow and the serrated blade. And he also like has secured the Liberator. I guess the idea of the Liberator is probably to counter like for instance Calories Mark, get a little bit more shield, also like to be able like to also like the rewind from the rest. So that's like why we go for that Cleanse Crest, I would assume. Against the Gideon ultimate, Pacifier is also like a good option, so that wasn't like the deciding fighter in my opinion. It's more like the Mark and the rewind in my opinion. Here we can see nobody is here. They saw like that the rest is in mid lane. The Muriel is in right lane. So Neft immediately what he does? Well, he applied pressure on the tower. And here that should be like able to secure himself like a good amount of gold. Remember, towers offer you local goals. If you die, if you are next to a tower when the tower dies, you're gonna get like extra gold. On the tier 1, it's an extra 300 gold. So here, like just by killing that tower, Neft got like 400 gold, and now that's enough to finish the tainted round. And so here we can see that Neft is pretty strong. Immediately, Wave is pushed a lot. He just got tower and rest is under the tier 2 tower. So what Neft is doing is rotate to impact somewhere else on the map. There is nothing to farm. It's gonna take like quite a while for the enemy team to actually like come back to push the wave. So I have a tempo to impact the map, and that's the respawn of the mini prime. And so you can see that now Neft is here trying to get like the bounce back, and that's gonna be a kill on Penguin. And now that means that we can get the mini prime for free. Probably gonna sacrifice like the tier 1 tower in the dual lane, but still, it's a mini prime plus a kill, and now Neft can go back. And also like that was like a whole time that Neft wouldn't have gotten like any real farm in the dual lane, because simply like the wave wasn't there. And now he can come back, the enemy team is probably gonna kill the tower, and then that means that now Neft is gonna get like the whole wave that is being pushed with them securing that tower. So once again, Dead Tempo decided to look to impact the map. He's gonna get like the cannon. As we said, like he just lost this tower, but it was like for the greater good. So that's something. Every time you come back to base as a carry, you should be like asking yourself, where should I go to get farm? And if I can't get like easy farm, like can I impact the map? In terms of leveling up, as we can see, Neft is going for first on priority the displacement blast, and then he go for like the assault mode, trying to value like quite a lot like the benefit of like the additional slow that you get. Import is at 1 HP, so here we're just like waiting for the shield to go away, and then it's like an easy pickup onto the Muriel. So here no need like to go too fast. As we can see, also like no use of the ultimate. Kills can be done without like having to use it. So now we're gonna like switch to kind of invade the jungle, kind of remove like as much RAM as they can, and that also like give time for the next wave to arrive. But now we have Fangtooth. Wave is pushing back into him, so no need to go like for pushing the wave here, because he knows that he can go for the Fangtooth, and then like the wave is gonna push back towards him, so he should be fine. But also then like that means he can maybe like look at impacting the mid lane. As we can see here, Gideon and Quang are kind of overstepping their welcome, so we're gonna go for the rotation here, try to defend this tier 1 tower in mid lane. And now we're going for the rotation, try to go for the hook, people jump over, Penguin get catch by the ultimate, but 1 HP is gonna be enough. We get like the Gideon ultimate, but get cancel immediately, get the skewer. We feel pretty strong. Import is now here, we're gonna get some slow, he's gonna jump over, try to go for the hook doesn't connect, and that's gonna be the end of that engagement. As soon as they're out, we see like no over chase by the side of Neft. He knows that now he has to catch his wave under the tier 2 tower and try to get like this farm, because he doesn't want to fall behind on farm. And if he doesn't go for defense, also like the enemy team could have like keep split pushing and maybe take this tier 2 tower. So here we catch like a little bit of farm. As you can see, we are at 163 CS, probably gonna go up at 170 here. So we are at a 10 CS per minute mark, which is kind of like what you want in solo queue as a carry. If you manage to get like 10 CS per minute, that means that you're farming like well. But 10 CS per minute, it's not so much about like staying in lane and farming all the time, because that's not what Neft is doing. It's a lot about like not missing any minions on every single wave. That's more like about the quality of your CS than the quantity in a sense. Because if you miss like 1 minion per wave, well, it's actually like 2 CS per minute that you're actually like missing on the long run. So here you can see we push the wave back, but map is a little bit dark. We don't know where is the carry. Gold buff is respawning, so Neft is not overstepping his boundary. He just like go for like the play here. I guess he probably is looking to finish maybe an item, but here is just gonna go farm like one more wave. And then we're gonna look for the reset. There is nothing to farm, there is nothing to fight for, so we're gonna go back to base, and here we can see the Dust Devil is completed. So far in terms of itemization, we're going into Lightning Oak, Tainted Round, Dust Devil. A very kind of on-hit focus with crit, like a mix of crit and on hit. We're already at 75% crit chance, which means that this Dust Devil is gonna stack fast, and then you get like the bonus physical power, but more importantly the movement speed, which means that if you get like the slow on the enemy opponent with the assault mode, and then you get yourself the movement speed from Dust Devil, there is nobody that can really like dodge you. Here we can see we use the Deflector Shield to counter the Death Mark, which is a little neat interaction that you can do. Work also, like for instance, when you're facing like a Drongo that apply like multiple rad rounds on you, you can fully like counter the burst. And here, like his team is looking for something, so he was staying around. We're gonna try like to catch something. Clericus was clearing the wave, so no need to go for that, but now we're gonna like help at actually like keeping the farm up. Enemy team has quite a lot of warding errands and Fangtooth. We're definitely like looking at securing the triple Fangtooth here. That's what we're looking for. We're gonna dash in, try to capture the opponent. We get like the hook, and then we just like have the follow-up damage by Neft, and that's gonna be like a kill. Gideon is out. We're gonna invade like the red buff. Stole that red buff again. Now we have, to be fair, red buff is not insane on Grim because you already have like some slow. We tried to get some damage here. Neft kind of overstepping his boundaries. He tried to go like I think for the Q spell into the GTFO, the ultimate, but he got punished like very heavily for it, and he forced to flash away. Now it's kind of full on retreat mode because of like this, like he thought he could make a play, and he actually got punished like very hard for it. Thing is, he realized that he's like too low because he's actually like one shot from like a knock from the rest, so that means that he cannot really like stay. Like true, like his team is still fighting, but he's that low that if he stay, he's just gonna die. So there is like not really like much point of staying. It's much better for him like to just go back, and now he's like full HP, and now he can like actually like come back to fight with no risk, and that's gonna be a kill on import, which means the enemy jungler is down. And while our jungler is gonna respawn in 15 seconds, so that means that this third Fangtooth should be like pretty easy to secure. They can even try to secure it without the jungler because they have that much damage. So true, Neft kind of abandoned his team in that previous fight because he was slow on HP, but he realized that Res is still up, Kalari is still up, so he's very easy to one-shot, and so even if he stays, he's not gonna contribute that much. So it's much better for him to contribute overall, even if his team like ended up dying a little bit while he was gone, to go back to base and then walk back into the fight. But as soon as he go back to base, he walk back into the fight. He doesn't say like the fight is over and I'm gonna just like simply farm my lanes. No, he come back to the fight because he knows it's an important timing. We need to win the fight because we want to get triple Fangtooth, because if we get triple Fangtooth, then it's like a huge option into that match to keep the snowballing going. That will make like getting the next Orb Prime like easier, and that's exactly what it does. So here we got a little bit of farm, we're pushing the wave. We have nobody to be able to support himself on the left side of the map, so it doesn't overextend. It just like simply push a wave and then go back, spend a little bit of gold, get the Clamor, so we're getting like very close to the 100% crit chance. And now we're like kind of looking at grouping with the team, because the team got the kill onto the Quang. They're looking towards the kill on the Kalari, which they do secure, and so that means that can open up the Orb Prime for the side of the Dawn team, for Neft team. And so that's why like Neft walked towards that direction to be around with everyone, and because you need your carry damage when you take those big objectives, because carries have the highest DPS when it comes to objective clearing most of the time, especially like at that stage in the game. And so like it's important to get like the damage here. And you can see here we get the rest of the team zoning. Neft is looking to be ready like to engage as soon as the enemy team like was forcing, but July was doing a good job of zoning them. And so now we can like simply like go for the chase. A very nice displacement blast that guarantee like then the kill from the chase. We're gonna get the thing. Muriel forced to flash away. We're still like gonna chase that. Muriel seems to be like walking like slightly away. A lot of people like to chase that a little bit too much in my opinion. but I guess like we're just trying to get the ultimate, and the ultimate, oh my god. That was a lot of damage. So kill secure on the Muriel. Now we're looking to actually like push more towers. And here we're really looking at potentially ending the game because 2 people are already dead. We have Jula split pushing left. Of course, as the carry in the late game, you want to stay with the team, like the big portion of the team that is pushing, like the main thing. You're not good at split pushing. You're good at taking towers while like your front line are creating space for yourself. Or if like any CC land, then you're good at like one-shotting someone. So you should be like pushing with your team when it comes to inhibitor push in the late game. Here we can see that it doesn't go like up because once again you need to be like kind of behind. We're gonna like deal damage onto that Gideon. That Gideon is gonna take a lot of damage. Kalari is trying to go into the backline, but it's gonna get peeled immediately. And that's gonna be like here probably GG. 3 people dead. We have 2 inhibitors down. It's just a matter of pushing the wave under the core and then like securing everything. And as you can see at the end of the match, we're at the 10 CS per minute. We are at the 8-1-6 scoreline. And yeah, that was like a pretty flawless game overall. And just like nothing too special or spectacular, just good fundamentals and not missing his abilities. And that's like was the recipe for success.